inspire, empower, grab your girls and soar a little higher, unlock the fire in you, 'cause real women don't bitch, no, real women don't, 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 real women don't bitch.
Hey, thank you for joining me on the Real Women Don't Bitch podcast. This is your proud host, August Crenshaw, aka Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless. I am the #1 advanced mental conditioning specialist for entrepreneurs because building mental muscle is necessary in order to implement successful business strategies. This show has been created for the woman who is not excuse-driven and needs help building a profitable business. I will be interviewing women from various fields who are willing to break the silence on struggles that specifically affect female entrepreneurs. Welcome to a show where I and guest speakers from time to time share our methods that help us beast our business no matter what is going on in our lives. Whether you are an online or brick and mortar business owner, this show is for you. We will hit every angle, personal, professional, and spiritual. Why? Because on any given day, you get hit with shit from a scenario involving one, more, or perhaps all of the above. It all impacts you and your mindset towards your business. I have made it my personal mission to provide a space where we dive deep into the BS we face on a day-to-day basis. Oh, snap, y'all. What's good? What's up? We are back, and I have a guest on here that, man, I haven't hooked up with this dude in a long time. We connected all the way back in 2017. And I'm going to tell you, I will always remember him as Money Mantra. This dude is intense. He's deep. He's real. He's in the community. He works hard for real. So if anybody's going to come on here and talk about hanging through the thick of it, knowing what real entrepreneurship looks like, it's definitely got to be Cesar Visual.
Hey, what's up, August? What's good? What's good?
What's good, man? Thank you for coming on the podcast.
Yes. You know, it's always exciting talking to you. I can't wait to get this rolling. Let's get into it. Let's get into it.
And look, let's get into it. So let's keep it basic first. Who is Cesar the man? I mean, just let the fans get to know you. What I don't know what turn you on, turn you off, favorite color, what? Well, who are you, dude?
Favorite color. I love blue, actually. I love blue.
Hey, for those of y'all that ain't seeing me on video, hair is definitely electric blue right about now.
It is a hot blue. I love it. Yeah, but I don't know. If I had to say who I am, I'd say, to be really honest with you, I think I'm somebody different to everybody. I don't know. I feel like I adapt well. I love to learn and I love to teach. So that allows me to adjust constantly. And I have realized that so many people have so many different personalities, and sometimes, you know, you might be like extra cool or smooth, or sometimes you might be like super aggressive, and the opposite person is gonna just be like, whoa, like you're too cool for me, or you're too aggressive for me. And I try, you know, not saying that I'm, you know, being phony, but I just feel you gotta kind of sense that sometimes in people, and I'd rather learn and teach than just be like, this is me right here, you know?
No, I love it.
Not really my approach. It used to be, though, to be very honest with you. I used to be very like, this is what I'm about and that's it, and forget y'all. And I felt like it just wasn't good. I wasn't getting good results from that. You know what I'm saying? I wasn't about it. I wasn't getting good results, and I had to adjust. And
no, man. Let me tell you, I was at a virtual meeting, and this was probably like and they was like, who are you? I was like, I'm a walking contradiction. I'm like, because I'm serious. I don't play. I'm a time fanatic, but I will be spontaneous and do whatever I want. I am an introvert with extrovert tendencies. I am a giver and a lover that will cuss your ass out if you do something crazy to me. And so, you know, we don't necessarily like to be genuine and say those things, but you know what? there are core things about me. Like I'm naturally real and I'm naturally raw. But
Sure.
I'm not finna be in front of my grandma being like, yeah, you want to listen to the podcast, Real Women Don't Bitch. There's a certain level of respect and reverence that's there. There's a certain way I would act in front of a pastor, or if I was in a business meeting, or, depending on if that's my business versus I'm meeting with some upper level execs. We all have these different masks or these different things that we, these faces that we put on, and it's not, y'all, it's not always got to be as deep as code switching and all of that, but it is the reality that's real. And so I love it when people just, your answer is your truth. And a lot of people resonate with that. So that's who you are. You're right. Because how your children perceive you, how your wife perceives you, how youth in the community perceive you, artists perceive you, it is all very different. At the core, they might say he's a genuine dude. He's a great guy.
Right.
He's a hard worker, but I totally freaking get that. So I got to catch up with you. So I don't want to assume that I know what you're doing anymore in the business world, man. I know you've added some extra, spice to your plate.
Oh,
what are you doing these days?
So most recently, so interesting enough, like the pandemic hits us, right? So most people slow down, and I kind of was like a little bit kind of off, like, man, what's really going on right now, right? But then I was like, man, shut up, get out of your feelings, get out of your head, and let's get to work, So I was like, let's make it happen. Let's take advantage of this. And I just been home and I literally started 2 businesses in the past, month.
Okay.
What I'm already doing on top of the consulting, on top of the events, on top of recording music, on top of helping artists develop, and on top of working with youth. I was like, let's do a couple things that I've been wanting to do. So most recently, I started a clothing company with my family. So I had been wanting to do this for forever. Oh my God, probably years, to be honest with you. And I always love fashion. I love t-shirts, and I love just kind of being able to express myself in whatever ways possible. And I'm a fanatic of t-shirts. I have tons of t-shirts, and everybody's like, oh, where'd you get that? And I'm like, I don't know. I always make up that it was a gift. I got my stuff at. Never. That was always my key right there. I'm like, oh, it was a gift, man. I don't know. Because I don't want to tell nobody what I got. I don't want to see nobody wearing what I'm wearing,
Look at you.
That's me all day. It's been me. It's crazy. But so I was like, I want to make something unique, come up with some new styles, and just be able to express myself. And I always kind of just saw it as like something I was going to do. And then I just started kind of asking my kids and my wife, like, hey, you guys got some ideas? Like, what would be a cool shirt? What would be a cool saying? What would be this? What would be that? And they kind of started getting into it. So I was like, let's do this together. And it became more fun. And, I have my daughters come and tell me like, Dad, I got an idea for a shirt. And then even my 2 oldest, my teenagers, they're working on the computer, like actually making designs with me. So I'm like, I love it. It's been really exciting. And most recent project. And along with that, when we met, I started doing the podcast. And my purpose of the podcast when I started doing a money mantra was to learn about money, which has always been a major issue in my life, and to learn about mental health, because those are 2 things I really wanted to study more and really just get into the community more, because I feel like a lot of us don't know enough about that. We weren't taught in school about either one.
Not at all.
I wanted to educate and just get it out there and push those ideas out and just push those resources out. So I started interviewing different people, interviewed you as well, and just started to learn more people's mindset about money, people's, experiences with money, mental health, trauma and stress they've been through and how they overcame it. And it just built that excitement even more for money and mental health. And, I just started telling myself, I'm going to continue to keep educating myself about this stuff. And recently I just partnered up with an agency that's going to help me, open up my own agency to coach people on finances. And I'm talking about like really get deep into it, learn about the laws and learn about the benefits of everything that, things like life insurance, annuities and such. And they're helping me train, helping me get licensed and helping me build my agency. And I'm pretty excited about that.
Man, now I got to do this only for some of my newbie people. They're going to be like, August, you be on us. You be telling us like, try to do everything. And you just like listed 100 different things that you're doing. But you and I both know, like, you've been doing like music and entertainment and working with you for how many years has it been now?
Oh my goodness.
Well, it was, I know, but I remember I know when I met you. Say that again.
It's been like 20 plus.
Yeah, I was going to say, I knew it was over. I remember it being over 10 when I met you, and that was back in 2017. And so, you know, that's something that you just do in your sleep. You know, you don't have
to. And it's like, I've been doing it. I say probably you think 10 because maybe that's kind of professionally the way I'm looking at it. But if you really want to look at it, I've been doing it for years because I've been, you know, I was a kid, a teenager, just kind of learning and figuring things out. I mean, I was a teenager when I was an entrepreneur because I was making music, recording it, and selling CDs at events and at shows and stuff like that on my own, making my own money, just selling them hand to hand in cash. So I've been an entrepreneur for a long time.
True indeed. Yeah. And so I really want to emphasize that, you know, that's something where, you know, you didn't try to do all of these things at once, you know, but now that you've gotten your feet wet, you know, you got that one thing going. And I do remember you wanting to start the clothing line, and you guys got to see one of the videos. It's so precious. He's got both of his daughters sitting on the side and they're describing the t-shirts that they made. And I mean, and it's really beautiful. And I love that because, you know, everybody's not going to be an entrepreneur, but everybody definitely does have that privilege. And the way that you're grooming your children, then you're already steering them towards that area of creativity and accountability and control over their life, instead of, you know, many of us, like, you figured it out as a teenager. So did I. You know, I started doing hair in high school, and I was like, hey, I'm getting paid. And I'm like, hey, auntie, you can't get no discount because I'm working for you, you know, even though she didn't necessarily like it. And so, you know, being out there on the forefront of being like, having to say this is my worth, you know, and get out there and be an entrepreneur, just like you, very, very young, you know, when I first started, but just like you, I'm constantly continuing to expand, you know, and I think that that's important, because I think that a lot of entrepreneurs, I know they get too comfortable. I mean, they get like blockbuster comfortable. And, you know, now there's Netflix.
And here goes Netflix. Wow.
Exactly. So, I mean, so what is your opinion on that? The whole thing about needing to be innovative and on a bleeding edge of thought as an entrepreneur versus just being comfortable with your craft.
You know what? I feel like if you're not constantly learning, you're going to fall behind, you know, and to go back a little bit of how you mentioned how I'm grooming my kids to kind of be in that entrepreneur mindset. Like, I feel like I am, you know, but kind of subconsciously, because I'm trying to let it be kind of natural. But then at the end of the day, I'm kind of thinking about it like, wow, I'm kind of putting them onto game early and just kind of grooming them that way. But I feel like it's so important because, I mean, I don't know. I feel like we're all naturally just creative, and we want to get out there. We want to get our ideas out, and we want to be able to express ourselves. I feel like it's human nature. And regardless of whether, you know, you're an amazing, you know, painter or rapper or singer or dancer, whatever it may be, or if you just want to do something as a hobby, like, you have that hunger in you to show something, to give something, to express something, to say something. And, you know, I just feel like, you know, people like me and you, we just turn that hunger, and we just we're like this. We just become obsessive, and we just go at it. And you know, one thing I learned is that when you get one thing started, like, you realize that you could turn it into so many other things, because you learn much from that one. Like, when you were doing hair, you probably learned like, oh my God, I could also do this, because I learned how to run my own business, you know, without knowing I was running my own business, you know. And then you're like, I could do this, I could do that, I could do that, and I could translate it into this.
Absolutely.
And that's the beautiful part about it to me. It's helped me like realize, like, you could do anything. You could truly do anything. And I say that in the most real way, not in the like corny, like, you know, if you put your mind to it, you could do it. Like, you could truly do whatever you want, because it's like, it's crazy. Like, the more you get into it, the more you get in the dirt, the more you put your feet into it and just grind it out. Like, you just start to realize, like, that's all it took. Okay, I got this blood, sweat, and tears out the way. What's next? Like,
you're right.
Pain. There can't be any worse pain than this, because being an entrepreneur is hell.
Oh, see, man, look, I was gonna make 2 seconds worth of a comment, and then I was getting ready to go into that transition about, you know, the work and the grind with it. But you're right. You know, I was doing hair, and then I got opened up to something that had me designing jewelry. And then I actually, don't even ask me why, but I ended up reupholstering an entire sectional. And I'm like, dang, I'm way more creative than I thought that I was. And then I started tripping off of all of the people who came to me for advice. And then I realized that I should be a coach. But then even when I got into coaching, I was like, man, I'm really good at hosting online events. But then I was like, with the online event, I can write books. And from the books, I can have a podcast. And like you said, and even every time you turn around, there was always something that would be coming out. But that's because I allowed myself the freedom of expression. That's what it really boils down to. And so even just before we started recording, I took my kids outside, and my son's got like these, some like, it's not a sycamore tree. I got to figure out what kind of tree it is. But some trees have like really huge leaves. You're like, a sycamore tree has leaves as large as your face. But some of them fell on the ground. And he picked up 4 of them. And I'm like, where you going with the leaves, son? We finna go in the house. He's like, I got one for you, one for daddy, one for Nene, and one for me. And I could be on that, man, I can love everything neat. Don't bring dirt in my house. But it's like something inside of him saw that it's beautiful. And he saw that as a gift. And so he came right on in. Here, daddy, here, Nene, here, mommy, and gave everybody their stuff. And it's little bitty things like that, I believe, that we forsake with our children. Like you said, we don't have to impose creativity on them because they already naturally that way. And so what you're doing is you just allowing that to flow from them. So if somebody tries to like put them in a box, it's just going to feel so damn uncomfortable for them.
Yes.
But they've had you to be the model for so long that subconsciously, more is caught than taught. So they seeing it on a regular basis, like, nah, daddy don't do the same traditional things that everybody else do. So, I'm not trying to either. So I'm feeling you 1,000% on that. But then you already kind of went into this thing of like, entrepreneurship is hard. And I get so fucking pissed at the coaching industry because everybody got 6 steps to 6 figures in 6 days. And even now during COVID, people are like, change your life around, get your business started. As if you start a business now, all of a sudden you're going to turn around and be COVID free tomorrow. So in your words, what is the real journey of entrepreneurship like?
My goodness. That's an amazing question. I think it's very unique to each individual, because I feel like you're going to truly find out who you are if you jump into the road of entrepreneurship. You're going to truly test yourself. You're going to truly know who you are. You're going to truly know who the people around you are. And, and not to say that that's so bad, because a lot of times, you might think, I hear people say like, well, if they don't support me or they don't have my back, or you don't do what I do, or you don't follow what I follow, then you ain't down with me. And it's like, I've been there. And like, to go back to earlier, it's tough to really keep approaching it that way, because not everybody's going to fit in. Not everybody's going to agree. Not everybody's going to want to do it your way or even understand you. And for some people, it just doesn't make sense because it's either too harsh, too real, too raw, or it's too much sometimes. And I get it. I'm starting to get it because it's not easy, because I've had a difficult time with some of the closest people in my life that just do not understand me. And I'm like, why? And I'm like, am I going to just push this person away? No, I don't want to. I love this person. I care about this person. But man, can you just kind of try to get me a little bit? And it's just, sometimes it just doesn't make sense to them, because I'm going, what it is? It's the process. People don't understand the process, don't respect the process, because the process is ugly. It's ugly. Because imagine if you go to like, let's say the M&M factory, right? And you see them making the chocolate, and you see the machines, and you see them putting the coating on it. And you might kind of be like, those machines are kind of like, I don't know about those machines. And it takes so long to make the chocolate. Why does it take so long? And look at the coating. Why is the coating, it comes out so gross looking out of the machine. And you don't understand that the process isn't going to be pretty, especially if outsiders are seeing it. If the outsider sees the process, they're going to be like, I don't think you're going to be good at this because it looks really ugly right now.
Yeah.
Understand that at the end, it's like you have to be, a worm turns into a butterfly, right? It's like, this is how it goes. It's just, it's a thing of just like, ooh, and then it turns into a thing of beauty. There's a process, and people see the process. They just don't get it. They don't like it. And it's just, they don't recognize, or they don't believe that it's going to be a beautiful outcome. And
Yeah.
that's where everything is. That's the journey right there. And at least for me, that has been what I've noticed the most, that people do not get the process and don't respect the process or are afraid of the process.
Yeah. I say don't rush the process, trust the process. And then I also say don't just enjoy the journey, embody the journey. Because it's one of those things that has to literally just like become a part of your being. And a lot of individuals don't realize that when you get out here and you start, you end up like being a one man or a one woman show. And if you're weak with time management, you're going to have to get your shit together. You know, if you don't have really good people skills, then the last thing you need to be worried about is when you're going to get a team, you're going to be doing stuff, you know, by yourself. It may be difficult for you to collaborate. You know, if you haven't exercised your creative muscles, I've worked with so many women that have been like, oh my God, her graphics look so great. And I'm like, well, you better get on Canva and enjoy making whatever you make. But that what they do, at least they're representing themselves. But now, I've seen one client, she's revamped her whole website, but she's been in business for 3.5 years now. But that's that creative muscle that she didn't even realize was there. So some of the stuff you learn is kind of like, oh my God, I don't want to do this. Other stuff you learn, it's like, wow, wait a minute. As I do this more, I didn't even realize that that's what I'm capable of.
Yes.
And you understanding who you are, that's what this really all boils down to. And this is what it's all about. And so ladies, gentlemen, whoever's listening, where are you at in your entrepreneurial journey right now? Because even with circumstances being as they are, you still have to continue to push. I haven't stopped. You haven't stopped. You've added some stuff to your plate. I've added some stuff to my plate. You know, this is what this life looks like. But I mean, we could take the easy route, or at least what we thought was the easy route, right? The easy route was to go get a job. And then you were secure. How is that looking now? You know, people, no insult, like totally no diss. You know, but that's real. But go back to the other thing that you were saying about, you know, family and being misunderstood. I do believe that there's some people that sometimes you just got to be like, okay, you don't get me and you're bad for me. And you have to separate from people. But there's some people, you know, my grandma didn't understand anything about what I did, but you know, she blessed me. She still loved me. There's some people in your life where it's just kind of like, you know, that they won't understand that. So for you, knowing that you got some people around you that don't necessarily get you, then how do you buffer that? What's your alternative? Because for me, I know personally being connected to people is what makes this journey easier.
Yeah. Wow. I mean, yeah, definitely. When you're able to connect, I mean, it just makes it like, oh my God, this is amazing. I don't have to push. I don't have to fight. I don't have to explain. And when you have to push, fight, and explain, it makes it a little bit harder. It takes a little bit more toll on you. And you get a little bit more exhausted, you know, mentally and physically, just kind of tired of it. And honestly, what I do to help me get through it is I just separate. I separate. If you don't get it, don't appreciate it, don't respect it, don't want to understand it or oppose it, and I still want and need you in my life, I just completely separate you from it. Like, you don't have to know about it. You don't have to understand it. You don't even have to hear about it. You know, if you ask me, I'm probably going to be very minimal. Because I feel like I'm being patronized if you ask me, like, hey, how's that little thing that you got going on? You know, and it's like, you know, let's just eat this barbecue, you know, you know, like, let's have this drink and just, let's play some poker. Let's hang out, you know? I've had people close to me. I started making money teaching. You know, I was teaching youth when I first started, and this is somebody without a degree to teach. I didn't go to college to teach. I actually barely went to college, didn't finish college, and I just always had a passion for teaching, had a passion for my community, had a passion for youth, and have always had a passion for music, hip hop. And I was like, I'm gonna bring that together. And you know what? I'm gonna go get a teaching artist position. I'm gonna do it. Told myself I'm gonna do it. Community service for years, just hanging out at the youth centers, hanging out with the kids, just volunteering my time. And I was like, you know what? I have experience. Like, you're sleeping on yourself. You literally have experience doing what the paid positions are. So I just told myself one day, you know, a friend of mine had put out there like, hey, listen, I need a teaching artist position filled, and went out there, told her I wanted it, interviewed for it, and boom, got it, you know? And when I got it, like, people were like, oh, you get paid for that? And I was like,
Now you're legit.
I was like, oh my goodness. Yeah, I get paid for it, man. Like, but you didn't go to school for that. Just forget it. You're just not gonna get it, right? You're gonna keep seeing me as the same perspective that you always had, and it hurts and it bothers, but it is what it is. What are you gonna do? You're gonna sit there and cry about it, or like be defeated by it? No, you're gonna keep it moving. You're gonna realize that you can't please everybody. You can't make everybody happy. Make everybody understand. It's impossible. It's impossible. And the moment that you realize that not everybody will be pleased and not everybody will understand, you're going to be able to fly, spread those wings out and just go.
So let me ask you this. You're beyond resilient. You're headstrong. You're focused. Ain't nothing stopping you.
No.
Have you ever had that moment when you toyed with quitting in your mind?
Oh my goodness. Yes, 100 times. I mean, I feel like it's human nature. You're going to feel it. You're going to feel defeated. I mean, there's times where like, I'm just like, that's it. I'm done. I can't do this no more because I'm not getting the results I want. And I'll just take like a little step away and I'll stop, creating content, or I'll stop contacting people, or I'll stop writing, or I'll stop sending out emails, whatever my process is to keep communicating and to keep getting out there and keep, spreading it out. I'll just like shut down. And then it starts to build up. Like I start feeling like, dude, this ain't you, dude. Like, what are you doing? What did you let get to you? And I got to bust out of it. And I realized that, it's like I trapped myself inside of myself. And I have to tell myself, like, dude, break out of yourself already. Like, stop playing around. Like, you let somebody else put you inside of you, and now you got to break out of you, and that's all it is. I feel like we are, I think we've all hit there. I'm sure you have. I mean, have you?
Yeah.
Like break
man,
down, and
it was
it,
ugly
right?
too. With the day, I mean, I've thought about it on more than one occasion, but there's just one time when I literally looked at my husband, I was like, this is just not working. And plus I felt like crap because we had invested so much money and we were behind on everything. And I felt like the stupidest person. And he never even looked at me and like, we'd be able to pay our rent if you didn't want to invest in this stupid thing. He never made me feel guilty. And I think that part made me feel bad too. Because I'm like, man, now I got him suffering through me with this. He should have just left me and went on about his bit. I mean, my brain was just so irrational. But you want to know what was so crazy is that opening up my mouth to say I need to quit made my lips quiver and tears immediately came down my eyes. Wow. And at that point, I knew that my soul was saying, that's what your lips saying, but that's not what your spirit is saying. That's not what you really believe. And I was like, I'm sucked it up. And I'm like, I'll get this Uber app going. I'm finna drive some crazy ass hours throughout the night. I don't know what the hell I'm gonna have to do. I'm gonna dig myself up out of this financial hole. But whatever I do, I'm not gonna stop. And people think I show up a lot on social media now. They have no idea. I used to be like this, cut off the app, live video, drive, cut off the app. I feel like going live again. I started promoting so damn much. It was crazy. And people had no idea that I was out in traffic, hustling, trying to make money. I got my phone on the mount. Yeah. Sometimes I'm just holding it in my hand, driving with the other hand. And like, I came in and get a nugget today. And when my mind was finally made up, for the most part, it was made up. But then I did still have these different times where it would be like, man, I thought that I would be, then it's not about can I do it? It's about why am I not further than I thought I should be? Oh man, I've been at this, I've been successful. How come I ain't hitting this 5K or this 10K month yet? And just little different nuances that would come into my mind. And I would be wondering, is this what I'm really supposed to do? And the online game is supposed to go this way. And it would toy and it would come back to me. And then finally, I just got to that point where it was like, look, I don't care what it looked like. This is what I'm created to do. And the only thing I'm going to do is continue to expand from it. And then I just became unfucking stoppable. And so whenever a thought like that, if something were to come to me like that now, I would know that would be like, how you had an angel and the devil on your shoulder. Like, where'd it come from? That it sure in the hell ain't me, because I'm not thinking about quitting. But definitely been there. Man.
Yeah.
See, like, y'all can tell. Y'all know when I got guests to give me hype, right?
Yeah. It's just, it's so it, it used to be so difficult for me because I realized like I still tell a lot of artists to this day that I work with, and they'll tell me like, hey man, I got this gig, and I think I'm gonna quit my gig, and I tell them like, nope, don't do it. Worst thing you could possibly do. And they'll look at me like, man, but how am I gonna be an artist? How am I gonna really do this if I got a job? And I'm like, bro, listen. How you gonna pay your bills if you don't have a job and you're still getting established? How are you gonna like maintain, live, buy groceries, do the things you have to do? There's no shame in having a job. You could be an entrepreneur and artist all day. You don't have to have shame in having a job, because at the end of the day, especially if you have other responsibilities, if you're responsible for other people aside from yourself, like there's no shame in having a job. The only thing that you need to understand from my perspective is not to ever let go of the end of the day mission. Keep your eyes on the prize, like keep grinding, keep going at it, keep educating yourself and keep pushing towards it. But I don't feel like you should be ashamed that, you need to get a 9-to-5 or a part-time job or do this, that, and third to pay the bills, because it's a necessity. You can't put yourself in a spot where you'll never get to be an entrepreneur full time, because you were stubborn or ignorant, to be honest, because I've been there. I was ignorant. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna quit my job, I'm gonna do this. And then I'm like, ooh, that was the worst thing I could have done, because I wasn't prepared to quit my job and really go at this. So you got to be able to understand that. I think that's a major.
I see that happen a lot. I do. And I always say to people, I'm like, did you really count the cost? I'm like, do you really realize what it's going to look like, if you don't do this anymore? But a lot of it really is ego. And once again, yes, it's those people like, oh my God, look at me. I live on the beach. I only work 4 hours, or I'm a successful entrepreneur. And if you tell yourself the lie that it's about control and freedom. But you and I both know it's like a young person. I want to stay out till 3:00 in the morning. No, you get your tail in here by midnight. I can't wait till I'm grown, so I go live on my own and I can stay out as long as I want to. Then you get grown and you got your apartment and you got your bills to pay. You got to be to work the next day, and you could go to the club and stay out till 3:00 in the morning for that damn freedom that you wanted. But when you can't wake your tail up and then you can't get to work and you can't pay them bills, then you have to sit there and make a decision to be like, nah, man, that's cool. I'm gonna stay in the house tonight. And so you realize that you did all of that barking to get to freedom that really was about you having to make mature, responsible choices. And I tell women that example all the time. It's the same thing with your business. You're too busy talking. You're selling wolf tickets. I'm an entrepreneur. Look at me. Yeah, that first month you might be controlling your life. That first month you might be like, I'm out here and look at my office hours and I'm living that laptop lifestyle. But then after that, you're gonna be nervous. And the nervous is going to go to tears and the panic and God knows whatever else. I tell women all the time, you need to be proud that you actually have a job that's paying for you to establish your business. And then the last thing I say is that you spent all your life doing it backwards. So why are you upset that now all of a sudden so you mean to tell me that you had to go to high school, you had to go to college, and even if you didn't do college, you had to work this job and that job and this job to get these qualifications to go to this job? Your life, even as an employee, didn't happen overnight. So why you think as an entrepreneur it's going to happen overnight? Yeah. Like real talk, but you're saying so much. You're just going into it. I don't even have to ask any questions. Let's switch gears a little bit, because, you're doing what you're doing with the financial aspect of things. And I know you've already, told the audience that this is your passion. You're really big on that, and you're really big on mental health. But you also were very transparent and said that there was an area in your life that you needed to fix. What is one of the obstacles that you wouldn't mind sharing that you had to overcome when it came to money? And I'll stop right there. What's one of the biggest obstacles you had to overcome when it came to money?
When it came to money, was being a complete fool about it. I was raised with no knowledge of money. My parents had money they put in the bank, or they kept it in the shoebox or something, and that was it. That was my money lesson. Always keep $20 near, like $20. Like I look at that now, like keep $20. Like, Man, if I only kept $20 right now, please, shambles. So it's like I just think it's a process, and it just was never given to me. The process was never given, and it's because my parents never were given the process. They never learned. They never were educated, so they knew what they knew because they had it tough and they had to try to make it happen. And fortunately, it passed on to me, and I had to learn the tough lessons myself. But I just never knew. I never knew better. I never knew better. And as I started growing, when I started meeting certain type of people, I just realized they had certain type of habits and they had certain ways of moving about, not just about money, but just in general. And that's what attracted money to them. And that's how they were able to make money, because it's like, a lot of times if you dress good, you feel good, you look good, like those all three, they all go together, right? And it's the same thing with attracting money. Is like if you know how to get it, or you know how to keep it, you know how to maintain it, you know how to take care of it, this is gonna stay around. It's gonna stay around. And that's one thing I really learned. It's so true. And I don't just mean that in like a philosophical or spiritual way. I just mean it even in the most like, practical way. You gotta earn it. You got to know how to earn it. You got to learn how to earn it to the maximum that you can, whether you are an employee or an entrepreneur, and you got to learn to keep it around. You can't use it on frivolous things. It's like real simple, like with artists that I work with, because, for the most part, it's a lot of young guys, you know what I'm saying? So like, I'll tell them like, look, plain and simple, bro, like stop smoking so many blunts and put some money aside for the studio. Don't buy the Jordans, bro. Don't buy the Yeezys. You ain't got Yeezy money yet, bro. You don't got it. You don't got it, because Yeezys are $250, plain and simple, retail. And then what are you going to do? You're going to go to StockX or something like that. You're going to pay $1,000 for them? Why? Because you want to look, no, this is what you're going to do, bro. You're going to go to Marshall's, right? Go to TJ Maxx or go to whatever, go to your store like that. And you're going to get you some shoes you ain't never seen before off the rack, pay $25 for them. And people are going to be like, yo, where you get those at? Oh man, don't worry about it. And you only know you paid $25 for them, but don't nobody else know. And they look great because nobody's ever seen them before. It's about what you do with it, and it translates to everything. Because if you're gonna be fresh, you're gonna be cool, you're gonna be down, you want to look your best. Doesn't mean you have to spend $200, $500, $1,000. You don't have to, because you could do what you want to do. Like that's the point to it, and it's what you got to do with money. And I just never was taught that. You got to keep it. You got to learn how to make it. You got to learn your worth. Even like I said, if you're an employee or entrepreneur, because if you got a job and you know your worth, you work hard, you stay late, you come in early, this is what you're worth. If you really, really want to get deep into it, I don't care if you work a cash register, whatever it is that you do, like even if you're a corporate employee that's moving up and you're suited up every day, like you got to really look at how much they're actually making off your labor. Like really look at the numbers. Look at the numbers. This way you could bring it to them like, listen, this is what I made for the company. This is what I was able to do. I know what you're getting paid because I'm involved in these numbers. I'm not just somebody pushing buttons or just moving around and just doing my job. Like I know the company. So this is what I'm worth. This is my value. What are we going to do about it? Oh, you don't think I'm worth it? Cool. Because now I know that you don't think I'm worth it. So I don't need to work for you. And it's the same mindset you need to have as an entrepreneur and just with money in general. You got to know what you're worth. You got to know what you're able to bring, and you got to stay educated. Like as tough as you could be or as creative as you could be, you also got to be very practical. And that's, I think, been my biggest challenge, is being practical about things and learning some sort of structure. Because I've never been the type that really enjoyed structure. I don't feel right with structure. I want to break out all the time, but I realize like I need it. Everybody needs it. We got to have some structure. We got to have some format, and we got to have ways and kind of like, not necessarily rules, but we have to have principles. We have to have principles that we abide by. If there are our own personal principles or our family's principles or whatever it may be, we have to have principles, and we got to have money principles.
Yeah, no, you hit a bunch of nuggets. I'm just was like, whoo, Lord, let me just soak it all in. And, it doesn't make a difference, even though it's the youngsters, but I mean, I still look at entrepreneurs do the same thing. It's like, you don't have to go spend all that money on a photo shoot to make sure you have the bestest headshot ever. And then all that money on a website to make sure that it is state of the art. So you found the person that was going to do it for 10 G's and you used up all your money. You don't have to pay all of that expensive money to have somebody be your graphic designer and posting for you. And then, women, we really get into image, and it's like, but you spending all of this stuff. And you know what's funny is that people be worried about their image and you don't even have no audience. The artist, it's like, I done wrote a rap, you know what I'm saying? I done produced a song. Don't nobody know who you are. And even though you got your little following on Facebook, Instagram, Snapchat, TikTok, I don't know where you at, wherever the hell you are, SoundCloud, the algorithm and people's access to information, people just bouncing all over the place. 1 second they on this one, they get the notification. The next second they on that one. And if you saying anything that allows the algorithm to know that you're trying to do something to make money, they suppressing your shit anyway. And so even if you got 5,000 followers, don't you know that barely 2% of people see it? You know what I'm saying? You got 5,000 followers and you still can't even get 200 people to see your post. You know what I'm saying? So, a lot of times the priorities on the things that we feel make us look good, but for real, what we learn on the journey, going back to what you said before, is that people just want our essence. When you decide to be an entrepreneur, you are the spirit of hope. You are the spirit of expectation. You are the vision of possibilities. And so people be living vicariously through other individuals. And so I used to show up live and I had on the same t-shirts all the time. And that's my MO even to this day. When I need to like really get dressed up or, go speak or something like that, I do. But I keep some old faithful t-shirts, some of my raggedy ones that's faded, my yoga pants. Why? Because I'm just trying to show that you could be regular, smegular, degular, and just still do you. Because see, you're not going to take away what's in my mind. People like to hear the way August thinks. And not only that, but they like to feel the expression in the spirit. See, I'm hype right now talking to you. Yeah. Man, if some of y'all can see him on the video, the dude is so laid back and cool. You hear him, but you hear passion.
I'm soaking it up, August. I'm soaking it up. I love to hear you speak. I love to give people the attention they deserve. I love it.
I'm honored, man. I'm honored but then that same level of being mesmerized is there when you're speaking. And so you just cool, you calm and collected, but energetically. And y'all, my audience, y'all know when it is, because I start speaking differently and get amped up and animated, but it's because of your spirit, man. You know what I'm saying? It's what you bring to the table, and that energy is electric. And if many more of you could realize that we're energetic beings, and that electric energy that you bring in, that's what's changing people. That's what the real value is. And then when you realize that the money's just the residual, impact, it comes with the territory, then you respect it. You're like, yeah, I'm worth this. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm supposed to get. Matter of fact, money, let me go send you to work so I could chill a little bit. And I'm like you. I didn't get any of those things either. My grandfather left my grandmother with a lot of money when he passed. He had a job with a pension. He never talked to me about savings or annuities or, whether or not I should or shouldn't do a 401k. He never asked me when I got out on my own if I did or I didn't have insurance. I just went to go live on my own and got some bills and realized that when I didn't pay the telephone bill, that they cut that shit off immediately. It was like, okay, so let me break a mental note. Don't ever be late. And when you can't pay, call and make payment arrangements. I learned from the school of hard knocks, just like you, but we don't have to do that anymore. Man, you already know I could talk to you forever. I know that you said you're getting your agency ready. When are you full-fledged launching, or are you already accepting clients, but you just haven't, fully transitioned yet?
So, right now I'm pretty much, I'm personally not taking clients because I don't feel prepared I don't have the tools or the knowledge to give them the full benefits of what I could and what my trainers are offering, but I could definitely be the median to connect them with everybody that could be around. And it only benefits me too, for example, because if somebody wants to get the coaching, the training, and the financial education that we offer, I could be in on whether it be a Zoom meeting or in-person meeting in the near future And I'm learning from it, you know, from the questions they ask to when my trainers are educating people on it, and it helps me. So right now, that's the process I'm on. And I'm also in the process of getting licensed in my state to be able to offer these services. And I think it's beautiful right now, because I'm definitely building the agency, and I'm gathering a team right now. Like, that's really what I'm trying to do, is I'm trying to get a team of people that want to get involved and start learning with me, so we could really start getting this thing going. And it's national too. That's the beautiful thing about it, that this agency is national. So whatever state you're in, or whatever city you're in, you're able to get involved and have people on your team across the state. And the thing that happens too, that I love about it, is when I bring somebody in, they're able to grow their own network, and they're able to essentially build their own agency, whether they want to have a physical building in an office or not. They're able to build their own agency from the start. And that's really what's exciting to me about it, that I'm not only going to benefit from what I'm getting out of it and learning from it, but I'm able to pass that on and have somebody else build up their own brand. That's the even better part about it, that let's say, you know, it's Nike, it's Adidas, and, you know, you're doing marketing for them. They're not telling you, hey, push it as Nike and Adidas. They're telling you to push it as you know, August Crenshaw, they're pushing it as Cesar Visual Zamudio, as Money Mantra, as whatever you want to push it as. And that's the even more amazing thing about this agency that I'm just really excited about. I don't have to push their agenda, their brand, their face. I could be the face of my own brand, you know? So
I love that.
Excited about it. I'm excited about it.
Absolutely. So those of you that are listening and you're like, man, I love this brother's energy, I want to learn more, what's the best social media platform for them to find you on?
Yes, please. Especially if anything I've touched on, you want to communicate with me about it and hear back, whatever, just build off of it. All over social media, it's I See It All. So it's ISEEITALL, all one word. And my website, iseeitall.com. My email is visual, VISUAL, at iseeitall.com. And that's where you can find me. I mean, pretty much anywhere you could look at. If you find I See It All, that's me.
Man, and you know, I love that I see it all. I thought of it first. Man, listen.
And I want to make it really clear though with the I See It All. A lot of times, you know, I'll get people like, what do you mean I see it all? And it's like, I never said I know it all, because I don't know shit. Just tell you all that from the beginning. That's one thing I learned, that I don't know shit. I'm constantly learning. But I See It All is all about understanding. Like, I see it all. I see you, and I'm trying to understand. So that's really what it's all about for anybody that's not sure.
No, absolutely. I love that. And even I'm just my own little twist, something I always say to women that I decide to work with. I realized it. I didn't know it until after I had done it several times and somebody pointed it out to me. But I always say, I see you, you know, because that's deep. Not I see your business plan, not I see your product. I see you. You know, and being in your business, I can see that for you too. You know, you see it all, and you also see the people, you know, that you're around, because you have to have belief. You know, in the line of work that we're in, we have to have belief in people when they don't even believe in themselves sometimes. You know, I talk about borrowed faith. You know, you got to borrow. Sometimes my clients all they know is that August believe that they can do it. And then they kind of do it because they feel some level of obligation because she's believing in me to do something, and they pushing through even though they're uncomfortable. And then it's so beautiful when I see that they ain't pushing no more, you know, and they just doing what they doing. And so I would even say that people, you know, strive to see people, you know, strive to see it all, you know, but be like my guy over here and have a spirit of being a life learner. And so last word of wisdom, you know, what's the last thing that you would want to leave the ladies and gentlemen with that are listening to this podcast?
Wow. I'm going to leave you with a couple little quick things. One, just to kind of wrap up everything we talked about, especially with entrepreneurship. I would say people first, then your process, and then finally your profit. Just remember that. It's always people first. People first. People first. Then your process, and last is going to be your profit. And to end it, I'm going to leave you with don't dream, make plans. Stop dreaming. Just make it happen. Get out there and execute.
Man, y'all. Yeah, the poetry slam. Just get them snaps. Look, man, I'm not getting ready to try to come behind that. That was awesome. For those of you all that took the time out to listen, thank you for giving us your time. your energy. I hope you were able to take a lot of valuable nuggets away with you. All you got to do, whichever platform you're on, all of his links are there. Go follow him, hit him up on social media, connect with the brother. I definitely put my signature on him. Been a dope dude since day one. Yeah, I know I don't. Yeah, I say I have a lot of people. I don't necessarily put my signature on everybody now.
Appreciate that.
I'm saying that I put in my signature on them, not saying, hey, you did a great job on the podcast, you know, so totally different vibe. So you guys follow my guy.
That's special.
Follow my guy, connect with him, you know. Cesar, you the shit. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, y'all, we outie. Deuces.
Peace.
Thank you for joining me today. Remember to cultivate a mindset that is biased towards taking action. No bitching, whining, or complaining. Here, our mantra is, real women don't bitch, we get shit done. See you next week as I continue to bring you what you need to keep your head in the game and beast your business. Don't forget to hit subscribe and leave us a 5-star review. Would you like a specific topic covered? Have a question you would like answered live? Then head on over to realwomen.don't bitch podcast.com. Subscribe to my email list, hit me up, and I got you. Interested in being a guest speaker? You walk the walk? Then you can sign up on the website too. This is your #1 advanced mental conditioning specialist for entrepreneurs, Mrs. Raw, Real, and Relentless. Signing out. Deuces.
Inspire, empower, grab your girls and soar a little higher. Unlock the fire in you.